making a thing. Alright, so the transfer case is about to come out, but I can guarantee you this is about to be a cluster. This ring sits down in here, and the way it's not, it's easiest to pry an end out, just kind of work it around until it pops off. Now if you're real daring, you can just pop it, but I'm not that daring. Hi-yaw. Hey everybody, welcome back to Get Heated, and welcome back to the third and final episode for this transfer case, MP231 transfer case rebuild. Like I said, I apologize that the first two, well, that this had to be broken up into three anyway, but it's partially due to my lack of proper equipment and etc., etc. But anyway, you're always welcome to go through and skip through things and find what you need and all that good stuff. So anyway, let's get on with it. I'll be honest, I forgot where we left off, but I'm going to punch this bearing out of the rear housing here. A lot of bugs in there. It's been a couple of days since I've been able to make real progress on this. And unfortunately, I don't know if you're new, but I have a shop tent, not a shop, so there is no way to keep weather conditions and tons of insects out. So this bench being completely covered with transmission fluid has been an excellent, well, magnet and cesspool for all this grossness. But now we should be getting close to putting things back together. So, the little bearing that goes in this part of the housing, I had nothing that could get it out at all. I had to outsource it. And even they had a hard time, and they broke their tool on it, so I have the new bearing to put back in. So we'll get this cleaned up, get this popped in there, and then this half, for the most part, will be ready to go back together, and then we'll work on the rest of it. So this little bearing guy, he pops right out of there. You can just tap it through the other side with a socket or whatever. There we go. Now you can see. Alright, so that's our bearing. Honestly, with this one, we don't want to like smash it down in there. So I think I'm going to go the next size up, which is all gross. God, is that really the next size up? Yeah, sure is. There's like no way to stabilize this thing. I'm not going to put any Loctite on there either. I'm okay with this. Some people put red Loctite around the outside, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. You can hear it when it makes contact. Ding! So that's pretty much all this piece of the housing needed right now. We can set that aside for the moment. This guy, still need to clean this up here. these guys are gonna go with that. There is still some garbage in there. Good lord. I think that's all biologicals. AKA dead bugs. My Silglide got delayed for who knows how long. Ordered a new tube and now they're saying it might be the middle of next month before it shows up. Man. Anyway, like I was saying, don't have any Silglide, so I'm going to take just a little bit of transmission fluid, lube these up. We want to prevent early onset wear, so Silglide, something like that would be the best, you know, assembly lube. But as long as you're not putting them in dry. So you see how it's got these ears here? That's where these ears line up. These don't matter which way they go in. They're ambidextrous. So that one goes on the bottom. Now this guy, before we put him in, we need to clean it up and put that bearing in. And this one stands apart from the rest of them because it's got that cap on the bottom. The cap goes down inside this bigger area. I think I'm going to start it with that one before I do anything else. So what I realized in post-production here is I was yammering away. What I'm trying to get across is the best way to know where this bearing should be set is to measure where your bearing is when it or before you take it out. I would recommend putting a socket in there that's small enough to fit inside that lip in the bottom, and then measure it against the top plane of the outside gear there, and that way you'll have it set where it was. This guy, wiggle it till it drops down into all these gears. Then we need another one of these, so we're going to get a little more transmission fluid. Lube it up like your mom on prom night. Sorry. Alright. Drop that guy in there. I want to say in my MP241 this was actually concaved, but this appears to be flat, so I don't think it's got a side preference. Drop that guy in there. And then this is the snap ring that's going to go in. I'm going to clean this one off a little bit. Because, you know, good stuff. This one is just gonna snap on in there. just like that. Planetary gear sets back together. Ding. Moving on. Now it's time to walk the dogs. Alright, finishing up the cleanup here. Alright, if you can't tell what's happening here, I'm using a plastic bristle brush to clean the threads out on that. Who knows if it's ever been done, but using plastic to make sure I don't damage the aluminum housing. So I'm not real excited about it, but these bearings aren't exactly the same style. These all have the snap ring groove in them. This has got a shoulder, so it should just bottom out when it gets there. And I think it's there. Looks good. That's it for this side. Matter of fact, that's it for this all together until we go to put everything back together. That tail housing is going to need some more work, and that's what bolts onto this. So now you should always double check and make sure you've got the right bearing. This is the one that came out. This is the one that's going in, so. Well, they certainly look alike. That's good. Alright, here she is. Alright. This is a 6206N. And so is that. Okay. I'm not sure why we have two of the same, but we're going to clean this up a little bit, though. It's horrible. Well, dead bug, you're going to stay in there. Go away, kid, you bother me. So this guy fits in there, but it pushes all the way in against that other shoulder. And then there's a snap ring that goes in to retain it in there, not in that groove that's in here. I think that's it. I think I see a shoulder all the way around it. Yeah, it did move. Okay. I just know. First thing I try to do to get this to self-correct. It's gonna snap off of my face. Huh. Okay. That was a little easier than I expected. I won't lie. Alright. Bearing. Lock ring. That's the shift selector. And then this is the detent ball, whatever you want to call it. So to answer any questions, when I go to do basically the final assembly, I'm going to drizzle some transmission fluid in all these bearings, and then slap it all together. Let's see, y'all. So this one is this goofy looking seal. So I need to find a replacement for that. I am not seeing that exact style. Alright, so I researched it. I couldn't find nothing. This seal does fit that, and it does fit that. So I guess we're gonna go with it. But I can't imagine a rubber seal is gonna go in swimmingly on its own. So I'm gonna put just a tiny bit of trans fluid on the mating surface there. We'll slide her together. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna call that good for now. On this part. Alright guys, this is like my 7th time trying to put this back together. Every single time I get everything cleaned up and ready to go back together, something happens. So I'm going to make a go of it, and come hell or high water, I'm going to finish this today. So cross your fingers, wish me luck. Here we go. Now at this point I would like to just point out that reassembly is pretty much the opposite of disassembly. However, to the astute observers, you will notice that I missed something here. This ring sits down in here. Yep. So here I had noticed that there was some kind of weird buildup inside this ring. If it was a regular transmission part, I would have said it was clutch material, but there isn't any of that in a torque converter. There isn't any of that in a transfer case, so I'm not real sure what it's from, but I cleaned that off before we reassembled. Alright guys, so one thing real quick about the O-ring and Teflon seal on here. They're supposed to go in O-ring first, then the Teflon washer. My kit did not come with a new one, however, this one really doesn't look like it's in bad shape. I just wiped it down, cleaned it up. We're going to put it on there. Now, I do want to make a note. This housing was cleaned out, however, the O-ring is being a butt. So you need to get that pushed down inside before you put that Teflon washer on there, because if you start tightening the nut down, it's just going to rip everything up. So just got a flat blade screwdriver, just kind of gently pushing it down into the crack here. And it's starting to rain. Hopefully it doesn't get too crazy or it'll come in here. Some guys say it's easier to put this in without the shaft inside, the shift selector. But in my experience, with as tight a fit as this is, you push that in And either it's going to fight you trying to get the shift selector in there, or it's just going to pop that O-ring out. So I went ahead and put the selector back in there, O-ring's in and seated. Now we just put this little Teflon ring in there, kind of just drops in, and then it's ready to be ready to put the shift selector back on there. I didn't have it on. We actually left it on the linkage on the truck, but this part's done, ready to go. Next thing, I thought my rebuild kit did not come with an oil pump seal. I was wrong. Where did it go? Here it is. That's this little guy here. This was sitting inside one of the other seals, so make sure you look real close when you do that. So we're going to go ahead and switch that out now, and we'll probably just go back to fast forward mode. We just knocked this guy out, put the new one in. Pretty simple, just like the rest of it. A couple of points here I just want to make. If my rebuild kit came with these, they're not in here. They're gone. So I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's been so long. So anyway, when you're putting these together, you want to make sure this short notched end is towards the short end of the shaft. And you want to make sure they fit together good. I've got just a little bit of slop. It's not enough to cause a shifting problem, but I mean, if you can replace those, probably should. But anyway, so you take this guy, slide it in, drop the shaft in to the bottom shaft. You want to turn the ring to find your teeth to engage, and help drop this down in at the same time. Of course, it wants to be a pain in the butt. There we go. Now she's fully in. So we're sitting on that tab, okay? This tab sitting on this side of this thing is actually what shifts this top thing. This thing. Okay, so we got the magnet in there already. Let's do the thing. So we got the output shaft for the front, new chain. So just drop this guy in here, get it lined up, and she's in. Alright. Next immediate stage is going to be Mr. Spring. Boop! That's it. Alright. So, this is part of the detent that helps keep the shifter in place that we took out during disassembly. You'll notice this O-ring is not O-shaped anymore. So we're just going to want to pop this guy out, put a new one on. Which did come with the case. Also clean it up because it appears a lot of crap likes to build up in the bottom of this thing. Kind of like the gunk that was built up in the deal there. The shift selector, or whatever you want to call it, not selector. That thing in there. So anyway, drag this guy off. Well, that is a baby little O-ring. I do not like that. Got a bigger one? What do we got? No, that one's not so bad. Let's check the old kit. Oh, only that small thing. Crazy. Anyway, cleaned up, new O-ring. It's tiny, but whatever. that is not crucial to any part of this right now. That goes down over here. I'll show you here in a bit. So now I'm going to scrub up, clean up these two halves, and then put the silicone on there. Oh, get the bolts cleaned up too. One other O-ring that you want to keep an eye out for is the one that goes on here into the oil pump, which I forgot to show you earlier when I was doing the oil pump. This little O-ring here, it actually looks like it's in pretty good shape, but we have a new one anyway, and all the other O-rings are not in good shape. Oh no, it's not good shape. It just fell right out of there. Yeah. Not getting a good seal, it just fell right out. Alright, so, new O-ring. Set her on in there. We'll go more in depth on that when we do assembly more. Do more assembly? Yes. Put things together. Yes. Coffee. Come here. Bugs. Fiber. Protein, that's what I want. Protein. Alright. We'll turn the mic off. Blah. Turn the mic off and do some cleaning. You're supposed to put the pump together before you put it together. So I'm going to grab my driver and zip these apart real fast and fix my boo-boo because I had it done. Don't do what I do, kids. I don't think we're going to need to add any more RTV. It's just annoying. Now we slip the tube in. I'll set it down. Hopefully you can see. You cannot. Slip the tube in the pump. Alright, now it's in there. Now we don't have to worry about it falling over either. or falling out, I should say. I am so sorry. I haven't been able to see anything I'm doing. Jeez. Good job. So the amount of silicone I'm going to be putting on here is much thinner. The reason for that is, drum roll, because it already has a shim gasket, it just started to leak. It can only go on one way. Clearly that's supposed to be clear for fluid to get past, so I need to wipe that back out. Just got that little cut out there. I think it would still have enough room fluid to move, but that's the thing coming out. There we go. Alright. Now fluid can move. I apologize, I just realized the camera died. Anyway, I finished putting a little bit of silicone on each side of that shim gasket. Shim gasket? Shim. Well, yeah. It used to be a shim gasket. Now it's a shim with RTV all over it. Set this in. For some reason it doesn't want to set all the way down. So I figured I'd start the bolts and give her just some gentle little taps. Get it moving. Should not have to beat on it like that. I wonder if it's because it's sitting on here. It's sitting on the shaft, so let's lay her down. What is the problem? Witness me single-handedly destroy a transfer case. Oh. Actually, might be exactly what I'm doing. I wonder if that didn't sit into the bearing right. The shaft. Yay! Alright, we'll be back when we figure out what's going on.
Check it. Check it. Check it.
I don't know if I had the mic on when I said it earlier, but I did a dumb, and I didn't make sure that the shaft was fully set down into its bearing before I put everything together, and had to take everything back apart. So I gotta clean these halves up again and reapply the RTV. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Alright, so we are 1 hour, 1 dinner, and half an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. later. And we're going to clean this up and reassemble it again. This time, correctly. Alright, sorry.
I've been battered and bruised, thrown to the wolves, dragged through the gates of hell. I've been bested and tested, and
So the next step is going to be to actually put the gasket on this side, on this little guy. The reason I'm not doing this right now, this tail housing, is it's clearly been rubbing that shim in here, which is what it's made to do. That's fine, but it needs to be replaced, and so does the tail housing wiper. The seal looks okay. Now the seal and the wiper are two separate pieces. I do believe I have the seal, but I don't have a wiper and I don't have that shim, so I have to find those.
But I am still here to tell. I'm standing on my own.
Again, just a tiny little bead.
When I fall, I'm standing on my own.
And this one I'm going to smooth out with my finger.
Standing tall when fate's wind blows.
You see the extra hole here? It's for drainage. That's where that goes.
Here are my scars. This is my story. This is the tale that I tell. My mind is troubled, but no time for worry. I rise in the place where I fell. I
Got that in there.
when I fall. I'm standing on my own, standing tall. When fate's wind blows.
These ones are only supposed to be like 22 foot-pounds. But, I don't know if that's realistic once you don't have the original hardware. It's been opened and closed about 1,000 times, etc., etc. So, yeah. Pretty sure that's been about an hour for those ones. That one we're going to wait longer.
Mama said I ain't right.
Play it back. I think I just inhaled that coffee. After this is on, there's always a lock ring of some kind, regardless of what rig you have, what setup you have.
A bad streak a mile long. Oh, my soul is black as night. What feels right is always wrong. Whoa, like a hard, hard rain. Ain't no hero, honey.
So, my wife and I were talking about this, like I was just talking to you folks about. I think I'm going to go ahead and put it back on. And the reason I say that is the drive shaft has built up a little bit of rust on the part that's supposed to wipe on these seals. So I think we'll just let it go ahead and do its thing, kind of tear these up just a little bit, and then I'll pull this back off, change it out same day, put it back on, put everything back together so we don't have to worry about any rust. So, that being said,
No angel face. Oh, I ain't no saint.
there, little weep hole right there, that's the bottom.
Oh, I'm cold as fate. I'm sharp as steel. I slice you through. Too numb to feel, too hard to prove. Oh, I ain't no saint. Mama said, honey child, you walk a lonely mile with your serpent tongue, your diamond eyes, and blood.
Whoa. That's not good. The snap ring failed. Son of a...
From your smile. Oh, you're like a hard, hard rain.
I'll show you what I mean.
Oh, I ain't no saint.
See that snap ring, how it's sticking out? It's not pinched. It's got plenty of room. When I opened it up to put it back on here, it failed. And it bent right there in the center. I guess it's better to find out now before I put everything together, but that's just still seriously annoying. This whole transfer case was just waiting for this housing to go on. And now it can't, because, yeah. So I gotta order one of those special. Because those do not come in the kits. Damn it. Arrgh. Alright. Well, I'm gonna call this done, because you've already seen me put silicone on before. All that's left to do is change that snap ring, put put the other snap ring on, put some silicone on, call it good. So, alright. Alright guys, well, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully I've been able to provide some educational information, and if not, at least I hope I was able to entertain you. So, other than that, soon we'll be having the video or videos of the transmission rebuild, the 45 RFE, which can also be used for 545 RFE. And just keep your eye out for that. More than likely, there's probably going to be a video next week on the Deuce. So we got some work we need to do on that. Anyway, as always, I love you. Take care.